back. Someone loved this coat and left it on the rack. Pockets deep enough to hold my fist, sleeves that smell of cedar and of mist. Mirror says it fits like it was mine, $15 for a lifelong find. Other people's clothes hold other lives, zippers that remember long car drives. Thrift store magic is how beauty thrives. Thrift store coat around my shoulders tight. Autumn wind can blow with all its might. I am warm inside a stranger's care. Thrift store coat and crispy autumn air. Found a movie ticket in the seam, dated 1990 like a dream. Someone watched a film and kept the stub. Now it lives inside my Tuesday love. Collar popped against the evening chill. Walking home along the autumn hill. New things never have this kind of weight. Story sewn in every single tray. Second hand is always worth the wait. Thrift store coat around my shoulders tight. Autumn wind can blow with all its might. I am warm inside a stranger's care. Thrift store coat in crispy autumn air. Fashion says to throw old things away, but the best things ask you if they may stay a little longer on your frame. Every worn out coat deserves a name. Thrift store coat, I carry you with pride. Every autumn walk you are by my side. Whoever wore you first, I hope they know thrift store coat still has a ways to go. Corduroy and leaves, autumn evening breeze, pockets full of time, second hand and mine. Lying on the grass with both arms wide, clouds are making shapes I cannot hide. That one looks like someone waving slow, another like a rabbit in the snow. Dandelion seeds are floating by, nothing in the world but me and sky. I forgot what I was worried for. The sky above is such an open door. Lying here I do not need much more. Cloud watching drifting through the blue, with the world outside. Ant is crawling up along my knee. Grass is tickling where I cannot see. Somewhere past the tree line, planes fly high, drawing tiny lines across the sky. I could name the clouds, but I prefer letting them be anything they were. Adults forget to look above their heads. We trade the sky for ceilings and for beds, but all the beauty lives where nothing treads. Cloud watching, drifting through the blue, shapes that only I can see right through. Afternoon, suspended soft and wide, cloud watching with the world outside. When I was small, this was everything. A summer sky and songs the birds would sing. I think the child in me was always right. The sky is worth an afternoon of light. Is the softest thing I have seen. Shapes across the blue, grass and morning dew, sky so wide and free. Clouds are watching. Sunlight through the curtain folds so slow. Coffee on the counter getting cold. Barefoot on the kitchen tile I stand. Toast is burning, but I understand. Sparrows at the window tapping glass. Mornings like this never seem to last. Maybe I should let the clock just spin. No appointments and no discipline. Something tells me this is where I begin. Linen morning carry me through. Nothing in the world I need to do. Soft and simple like the sky outside. Linen morning, let me slide. Laundry drying on the balcony. Neighbor humming something old and free. Pages turning in a paperback. Lemon water and a window cracked. Dust is dancing in the afternoon. I forgot what day it is and soon. Maybe I was rushing all this time, looking for a mountain I could climb. Turns to chase. Morning holds its place. Fields are passing green and amber white. Chin against the glass and lean inside. Someone sleeping 2 rows up from me. Thermos tea and crumbs from toast at 3. Telegraph poles counting out the miles. Every little town has different tiles. Somewhere between here and where I go, I forget the things I used to know. Travel has a way of letting flow. Train window showing me the world outside. Every passing field, a place to hide. I am moving, but my heart is still. Train window painting every hill. Conductor smiles and punches through the card. Lady reading something by Renard. Raindrops racing sideways on the pane. I am not in any rush again. Sandwich from the trolley cart at 4. Simple things I never asked for more. Maybe destinations matter less than the quiet ride and gentle rest. Somewhere in between I feel my best. Train window showing me the world outside. Every passing field, a place to hide. I am moving, but my heart is still. Train window painting every hill. The tracks keep humming underneath my seat, a rhythm that my breathing wants to meet. I left my worries at the station door. I do not need them anymore. Train window holding every shade of green. Softest journey that I have ever seen. I am nowhere and I am everywhere. Train window says that life is fair. Fields of gold and gray slipping slow away. Rails beneath my feet. Journey is complete. Ducked into the bookshop from the rain. Doorbell chiming like a soft refrain. Shelves are crooked, leaning to the right. Everything in here smells like last night. Owner nods and goes back to her chair. Classical is playing through the air. I was only looking for some cover, but this little shop became my lover. Page by page, a rainy day discover. Bookshop rain outside the window pours. I am safe inside these wooden doors. Spines of stories lining every wall. Bookshop rain, I hear you softly call. Found a poetry collection small. Faded yellow cover, standing tall. Dog is sleeping near the heating vent. I have been here longer than I meant. Rain is tapping rhythms on the roof. Every drop a tiny, gentle proof. The world outside is rushing to get dry, but I am here with no good reason why. Sometimes shelter teaches you to fly. Bookshop rain outside the window pours. I am safe inside these wooden doors. Spines of stories lining every wall. Bookshop rain, I hear you softly call. I bought the book of poems and a card. The owner wrapped them gently, nothing hard. Some shops hold you like a gentle friend, and the rain just never wants to end. Became a quiet song. I walked out with something more than books. Bookshop rain and all its gentle hooks. Doorbell chimes behind, poetry to find. Rain still falling down. Bookshop in my town. Old transistors sitting on the shelf. Tuning dial, I always turn myself. Static fades and then the music plays. Something from my mother's younger days. Eggs are crackling in the morning pan. Dancing to a song I barely can. The radio does not care about the time. It plays whatever fits inside the rhyme. Kitchen mornings always feel like mine. Kitchen radio, turning up the sound. Every morning, melody I found. Scrambled eggs and music fill the air. Kitchen radio playing everywhere. Weatherman says sunny through the week. DJ like these were always meant to last. Streaming apps have everything I need, but the radio has a different speed. Surprise is its own kind of feed. Kitchen radio, turning up the sound. Every morning, melody I found. Scrambled eggs and music fill the air. Kitchen radio, playing everywhere. My father danced with mother to this song. The kitchen floor, their ballroom all along. I'm keeping up the family way, turning on the radio every day. Kitchen radio, keeper of the dawn. Every song a thread that carries on. I am humming through my morning chore. Kitchen radio, what I am living for. Static and a tune, morning coming soon. Dial turn to the right, kitchen full of light. Buckets hanging on the maple trees, dripping slow like honey in the breeze. Snow is melting into muddy trails. Robins singing springtime little tales. Sugar shack is steaming through the roof. Sweetness floating gentle and aloof. Winter held on long, but here it goes, dripping in spring on maple toes. Nature has its own way and it knows. Maple syrup season dripping gold. Every drop a sweetness to behold. Winter turns to spring inside my cup. Maple syrup season filling up. Farmer stirs the pot with wooden spoon. Kids are dipping sticks all afternoon. Steam is rising thick against the cold. Recipes from generations old. Pancakes waiting at the kitchen door. Spring has never tasted like before. I drove an hour just to stand right here, watching sap become what I hold dear. Patience turns to sweetness every year. Maple syrup season dripping gold. Every drop a sweetness to behold. Winter turns to spring inside my cup. Maple syrup season filling up. The trees have waited all through frozen nights to give us something golden in the light. I think that we are just like them somehow. Sweetness comes to those who wait it out. spring, a song that must be sung. I am tasting patience, I am tasting time. Maple syrup season and the world is mine. Buckets dripping slow. Spring is letting go. Golden in the jar. Sweetness from afar. Two, three. Spoon against the ceramic makes a clink. Honey dripping slower than I think. Coffee black with just a golden swirl. Morning is the center of my world. Barefoot on the cold tile feels just right. Sunrise turning darkness into light. Every morning starts the very same, but I never tire of this gentle game. Ritual and rhythm have no shame. Coffee and honey, that is all I need. Morning ritual, planting every seed. Slow pour and a quiet kind of grace. Coffee and honey find my place. Toaster pops and steam is everywhere. Radio is playing something rare. Plants are leaning toward the window glass. Watering them slowly, watch time pass. Neighbor kid is riding by the door. Small things I have never loved before. I was always rushing through this part, missing all the beauty at the start. Now the kettle speaks straight to my heart. Coffee and honey, that is all I need. Morning ritual, planting every seed. Slow pour and a quiet kind of grace. Coffee and honey find my place. Some people travel far to feel alive. I just stir my cup and I arrive. The kitchen table holds my universe. Every morning is a tiny verse. Coffee and honey in the golden light. Every morning makes the whole world right. I am home before I leave the door. Coffee and honey, who could ask for more? Golden swirl and steam, morning like a dream. Spoon against the cup, slowly waking up. Porch swing creaking back and forth all day. Lemonade is melting ice away. Neighbor mowing lawn somewhere close by. Screen door banging every time they try. Magazine is open on my lap. Summer says it is okay to nap. I have been sitting here since 2:30. The sky keeps changing every shade of blue. Nothing in the schedule, nothing due. Porch swing, summer rocking through the heat. Bare feet hanging just above the street. Every afternoon, a slow parade. Porch swing, summer lemonade. Ice cream truck is singing down the block. Kids are counting down beside the clock. Sprinkler rainbow arcing left and right, catching all the drops of summer light. I wave at the mailman like I should. Every porch swing summer is this good. Somebody invented rocking chairs, but porch swings took away my cares. Back and forth like gentle evening prayers. Porch swing summer rocking through the heat. Bare feet hanging just above the street. Every afternoon, a slow parade. Porch swing summer lemonade. The city people drive through on their way. They see us sitting here and always say, how can you do nothing for so long? I smile because they have got it wrong. Porch swing summer painted in the gold. Every creaking memory I hold. Rocking through the years and holding tight. Porch swing summer fading into night. Lemonade and shade. Afternoon that stayed. Creaking back and forth. Summer heading north. Blanket wrapped around me like a shield. Chamomile is steaming in the field of my living room, so small and tight. Lamp is humming soft with amber light. Socks are mismatched, but I do not care. Comfort lives in old and thinning wear. Outside world is moving hard and fast, but in here the moment seems to last. Present tense is all I ever asked. Blanket and tea holding me tonight. Everything is heavy, everything is light. I am safe inside this little space. Blanket and tea, my resting place. Phone is face down on the other chair. Notification expectations floating through the air. I am choosing silence over noise. Quiet has become my steady poise. Steam is rising like a tiny prayer. Nothing in this room needs my repair. I have been so many things today, but underneath the blanket I can say I am only me, and that is okay. Blanket and tea holding me tonight. Everything is heavy, everything is light. I am safe inside this little space. Blanket and tea, my resting place. The world will still be there at dawn, but right now every wall is drawn around this chair, this cup, this calm. Evening is my quiet song. Blanket and tea, the night is almost through. I have made my peace with all I knew. Tomorrow I will try again to shine. Blanket and tea, tonight I am fine. Steam and amber glow, blanket hanging low, chamomile and rest, quietly my best. Alarm went off, but I stayed lying down. Pillow crease still printed like a crown. To-do list is taped up on the wall. Today I do not want to check them all. Body asking for another hour, running water like a gentle shower. I have been so good at getting things done, but today I am choosing to be no one. Resting is not quitting, it has begun. Permission to rest, I give it to myself. Put the busy back up on the shelf. I am not behind, I am right on time. Permission to rest, this day is mine. Cancel button pressed without the guilt. Blanket fortress that I always built. Podcast playing something soft and kind, leaving every expectation behind. Lunch is cereal and I am fine with that. Sitting in the sun beside the cat. Somebody once told me rest is weak, but I am stronger now than all last week. Silence has the answers that I seek. Permission to rest, I give it to myself. Put the busy back up on the shelf. I am not behind, I am right on time. Permission to rest. spinning either way. Whether I produce or whether I stay, my worth was never in the race. It was always in this quiet space. Permission to rest, I finally understand. I do not need to hold it all in hand. Softness is the bravest thing I know. Permission to rest and letting go. Pillow crease and light, nothing wrong or right, just a quiet day. Everything okay. Gravel pathway crunching underfoot. Label says this flower took deep root. Greenhouse glass is foggy from the heat. Orchids hanging delicate and sweet. Bench beneath the magnolia shade, somebody carved a heart where lovers stayed. I come here when my thoughts need open air, wandering without a map or care. Every leaf reminds me I belong there. Botanical garden, walking through the green. Softest afternoon I have ever seen. Every petal has a story told. Botanical garden turns me bold. Fountain splashing in the center square. Old man sketching roses in his chair. Children counting fish below the bridge. Ivy climbing up the garden ridge. I bought a postcard at the little shop, wishing that this feeling never stops. Nature does not hurry, but it grows. Maybe that is everything I know. Patience blooming everywhere it goes. Botanical garden, walking through the green. Softest afternoon I have ever seen. Every petal has a story told. Botanical garden turns me bold. I planted worry in the soil last spring, but only flowers came from everything. This garden knows what I keep trying to learn, that beauty grows with every turn. Botanical garden underneath the sun. I have found the place where I am done. Done with rushing, done with standing still. Botanical garden, bending to my will. Magnolia shade, postcard that I made. Gravel path and green. Softest place I have been. Flour dust like snowflakes when they talk. Sourdough is stacked behind the glass. Every loaf a gift that time has passed. Baker knows my name and how I take 2 croissants and 1 small carrot cake. There is something ancient in the bread hands that knead the dough have always said, take your time, the morning lies ahead. Small town bakery where I belong. Every visit feels like coming home. Warm inside, the ovens never lie. Small town bakery hears me sigh. Corner table where I always sit. Coffee and the crossword bit by bit. Couple at the counter holding hands. Baby sleeping in a wicker stand. Sunlight through the window hits the bread. Golden crust like everything she said. I have traveled far, but nothing beats the smell of pastry on these little streets. Comfort is the simplest of feats. Small town bakery where I belong. Every visit feels like coming home. Warm inside, the ovens never lie. Small town bakery hears me sigh. The recipe was passed from hand to hand across the years, across this little land. Some things should never change or grow. A bakery is all you need to know. Small town bakery, keeper of my heart. Every crumb, a tiny work of art. I will keep returning, rain or shine. Small town bakery, forever mine. Bell rings at the door. Flour on the floor. Bread still warm to hold. Stories never old. Flour on my nose and batter in the bowl. Sunday morning, feeding up my soul. Butter sizzling on the pan so round. Flipping pancakes is my favorite sound. Maple syrup running down the stack. Once I start, I am never going back. Who decided weekdays had to be so long? Sunday mornings prove the whole week wrong. Pancakes are my favorite kind of song. Lazy Sunday pancakes, stack them high. Berries on the top and let them fly. Nothing on my schedule, nothing due. Lazy Sunday pancakes, me and you. Coffee pot is full for number 3. Newspaper is spread from A to Z. Barefoot and my hair is still a mess. Sunday does not need me at my best. Someone put on music soft and low. Dancing in the kitchen nice and slow. These are all the mornings that I keep stored inside my memory so deep. Sunday morning never loses sleep. Lazy Sunday pancakes, stack them high. Berries on the top and let them fly. Nothing on my schedule, nothing due. Lazy Sunday pancakes, me and you. It's Monday rush. I will take the syrup and the hush. Brunch was made for people who believe Sunday is the day I do not leave. Sunday pancakes, golden brown, sweetest ritual in my little town. Every bite reminds me what is true. Lazy Sunday pancakes, I love you. Syrup on my plate, Sunday running late. Batter bowl is done, pancake morning sun. Basil in the terracotta pot, so small, leaning toward the light against the wall. Rosemary is growing tall and thin, a pinch of leaf, and breathe the whole world in. Morning sun is warming up the sill. Everything outside is standing still. I never thought a windowsill could teach that everything I wanted was in reach. Growing slow is its own kind of speech. Windowsill herbs in the morning glow. Tiny garden telling me to slow. Green and steady, rooted in the light. Windowsill herbs make everything right. Time is flowering purple near the edge. I move the mint beside the window ledge. Water from the jar I saved last night. Droplets catching every bit of bright. Recipe says 2 sprigs of what I grew. Cooking with my garden feels brand new. Something about tending little things gives my ordinary day its wings. Every morning the rosemary sings. Windowsill herbs in the morning glow. Tiny garden telling me to slow. Green and steady, rooted in the light. Windowsill herbs make everything right. I do not need a field or fancy plot, just these 3 pots and what I have I am rooted here beside the green windowsill herbs, the softest life I have seen. Basil in the sun, morning just begun, water dripping slow. Watch the garden grow. Watering the basil after 5. Evening light makes everything alive. Tomatoes turning red upon the vine. I planted them in March and they are mine. Dirt beneath my nails and I am proud. Garden is the opposite of loud. I was never good with growing things, but the garden taught me what it brings. Patience sounds like evening when it sings. Evening garden softly closing day. Every leaf has something kind to say. I am growing right beside the green. Evening garden knows what I mean. Fireflies appearing one by one. Sprinkler left on after I was done. Neighbor leans across the fence to chat, showing me her roses and her cat. Mint is spreading everywhere it can. Growing wild was always nature's plan. The sky is turning purple at the seam. Garden feels like living in a dream. Nothing is as simple as it seems. Evening garden softly closing day. Every leaf has something kind to say. I am growing right beside the green. Evening garden knows what I mean. I came out here to water, but I stayed. The evening garden gently persuade. Some things do not need a bigger stage, just soil and light on every page. Evening garden holding twilight close. Basil, mint, and one determined rose. I have never felt more rooted here. Evening garden takes away my fear. Fireflies and dusk, garden soil and trust.